righty. Okay, so greetings everyone. Thank you for joining me today. So we're going to keep this webinar, a little loosey-goosey. We're going to try to, turn it into a discussion, answer any questions that you may have about, the benefits and, different kinds of campaigns that are really best suited for SMS text. So if y'all are familiar with the Marketing Suite already, and you are already subscribed to it, you may have noticed that SMS text messaging capabilities are an add-on. So it doesn't automatically come with the standard Marketing Suite subscription. So the reason we do that is because, SMS text really, it isn't necessarily for everyone, but we did want to provide it as an option. Now, to start, SMS text is the only campaign type application on the Marketing Suite that requires additional fees or credits in order to send these texts. So what that means is there's a way within Astro to purchase credits, and then these credits cover the carrier fees that, phone companies require in order to deliver text messages to your customers. So this translates to about 3 cents per text sent to each customer. So if you're sending 500 texts, to a list of 500 customers, then what that means is you're going to require 500 credits or 500 times 3 cents. Okay. The way it is configured as well is, let's say, for instance, your customer tries to reply to the text that you send them. Now, the system isn't designed to collect replies from customers. It is merely a tool to deliver messages to them. So essentially, what will happen is after the third attempt to text you back, it will stop deducting credits from your account. So we're not going to, let it so that they can continually spam you and deduct your credits in that way. So we do allow them to reply, though, just in case they do want to unsubscribe via text, which is something that is allowed and is standard with all SMS style text campaignings. You guys may already be familiar with it. If you sign up for something to get a deal online and then they're texting you, you can reply stop to unsubscribe from that. Now, speaking of unsubscribing from campaigns within the Marketing Suite. So let's say, for instance, you have a customer that does unsubscribe from either SMS text messaging or email campaigning from your store. The only way for them to actually resubscribe to these services is if they were to download the mobile app, which is free for them to use. And when they go to the settings section of that app, there is a section where they can toggle back and forth between subscribed or unsubscribed to both email and SMS. And then, of course, if you're not subscribed to SMS, this toggle feature would not be available to them. Now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into one of our demo accounts in Astro and just give you an idea of what will happen when you turn on SMS style campaigning and what kind of opportunities that will open for you for, communicating with your customers. All righty. So I should say that while I'm in this screen here, I can't actually see the chat. So I will periodically check back and forth so I can see if you have any questions. But by all means, if you do have questions while we're going, just type them into the chat and I'll address them as soon as I can. Alrighty, so here we are inside the Marketing Suite. And if we go under the settings section, there is a text configuration option. Now, if you haven't enabled text on your account thus far, you should be able to see either the text configuration option there, which you can turn on to activate it, or you can go under campaigns and you can go to where it says SMS text message only, and there will be a button up here to enable SMS capabilities, and then it will walk you through the process to fetch your SMS number, which we will provide for you. We also do We cover the cost to rent this number, or I should say lease this number, every month. So you don't have to worry about that. All you need to worry about is supplying credits in order to send your messages. And again, those are just to cover the carrier fees. Astro does not take anything from those credits. All right, so first things first, text configuration. So over here, you can choose what you want your display name to be. Usually that's going to be the name of your store so that your customers know that, who is actually texting them. Because as you know, when you get an SMS text from somebody, it's just going to show that number that you're getting the text from. If the customer doesn't have it saved in their phone under the contacts, it's going to be a mystery as to who this actually is. So we do recommend that you put in a display name that is representative of your store. Minimum credit balance, that's going to be the lowest that your balance can dip to. So let's say, for instance, if I dip below 100 credits, like let's say I have 98 credits, what will automatically happen is 500 additional credits will be purchased using the card that's on file. And then this right here, you do want to check this box. It'll send a welcome text automatically when consent is collected by a cashier during the actual, checkout process. Now, under campaigns, we have two different kinds of campaigns. You're familiar with the multimedia campaigns, and these campaigns are able to be delivered via email, SMS, app notification, and Facebook post. These guys down here are going to be text only or image and caption only campaigns. So if we go into the text only section, we're going to see all of the individual text only campaigns that were sent to customers. So this guy right here, it'll show, total number of recipients, and it will have, if we click on it, you'll have additional information about it as well. So over here, to create a new one, let's say, for instance, you just want to send out a communication to either specific customers or you want to send out a reminder. So one of the key benefits of SMS text is that it is very hard to miss something that appears on your phone as a text message rather than, something that appears on your phone as a notification. So we'll get notifications for emails and so forth, and we'll get notifications for app, notifications on our phones. But most people are going to be checking their texts and they're going to be scrolling through and clearing that out. So there's an excellent chance these are going to have a higher read rate than standard email messaging. And on another level, app notification messaging tends to go back and forth between read rate. So SMS text and app notifications are going to be kind of up and down, pretty similar to read rate there. Now, this guy right here, you have your from name. This is going to appear in the actual text message sent. And then your text characters, this is going to be just a plain message to your customers. You can go up to 250 characters. And then you are able to choose all pet owners. So it'll deliver it to every single pet owner who has both a phone number on file and they have consented to receive a text from you. Now, or you can use our recipient list generator and you can choose, customers that have been added to specific lists. So we have, let's see, I have a couple, test lists in here. So you can do, all kinds of things. And if a list hasn't been refreshed, you'll be able to refresh that list before sending it. Now over here, it is going to tell you what customers are able to receive this message compared to who is unable to. So for instance, this customer right here, they don't have a phone number on file, so they're not going to be able to get it. This guy over here, they do have a phone number on file, but they haven't consented to SMS text. So what does that mean? When you're checking out a customer, we'll go in here. Up here. So one of the cool things about the marketing suite is it is going to tell you at a glance, or your cashiers at a glance, who is subscribed to what platform or who has consented to be communicated by which platform. So if something is red, it means one thing. that they do not have the required bits and pieces within their Astro account to be able to communicate it, to be able to be communicated in that way. So if you mouse over, it'll tell you customer has no phone number. And over here, this is the app notification. This will tell you whether or not the customer has downloaded the app. So those are the ones that we have are red. Now, if we were to go in here and click Edit Pet Owner and add a phone number, something like that, we're going to save Pet Owner. And then the cashier can click this guy right here that says customer consents to SMS. All right, we're going to click there to close. Now, over here, when we mouse over it, we see customer can be sent text messages because that is green. All right, so that is consent. Now, for those of you that are trying to switch from a existing SMS campaigning system, we are working on a way to basically, when we upload your customers and their phone number information and so forth, we're working on a way that will help you to automatically basically implied consent. So they've consented before, so we'll roll that consent into Astro. So if you need help with that, reach out to us at support@astroloyalty.com and we'll help you walk through that process. Alrighty. So now let's kind of talk about different kinds of scenarios where an SMS text would be valuable. Now, you can use it to send every communication. That is perfectly possible and doable. So if you were to go into, campaigns and set up a template campaign, like this one right here, you'll be able to, choose deliver via SMS. You can give it a title, just like you would any other standard communication within Astro. You'll be able to send and create a fully realized template. Now, the way that this works is when the customer actually receives that text message, it's going to contain a couple things. So it's going to contain your store's name, the subject, and then within that same text, it's going to be a URL link. When they click that URL, it's going to take them to that full template that you created with all of its clickable links and so forth. So that's how you would send standard communications to customers. Now, that being said, let's say you have something going on at your store that you want to alert your customers to right away. You do not want them to miss this. This is very important. This would include things like, recalls. Let's say, for instance, one of the food companies that you carry is trying to do a preemptive recall to make sure that, no pets get sick. And they've alerted you what, product, what SKUs and so forth, lot codes and all that are to be collected at your store. Using Astro, you can go into your recipient list. You can say create new list, and you can find, you can select the pet food brand, who's doing the recall, and then you can reach out to all customers who have ever purchased that product or items from that brand at any point in your store. And you can narrow it down even more. So, if it's something that is within a specific frequent buyer program, you can just select that program. And you just want to make sure that you mention in your communication that it's not all SKUs and all lots. You can provide as much information as you can. And obviously, if that's going to require more than 250 characters, you can do it within a template and you'll have unlimited amount of space to explain to your customers what's going on. Now, the other thing that is popular to use this for are, announcements to, events that are special events going on at your store. These can be anything. This can be, a sale that you're running, an anniversary sale. It can be an adoption event, you name it. So, oftentimes customers, as long as the message that you're sending to them has value to them, and by value, I mean it provides them some sort of benefit, whether that is, knowledge that will help them, care for their pet, or alert them to something that is important for them to know, they're going to appreciate that. So you're going to have a higher read rate and you're going to have more informed customers. and they still retain the capability of being able to unsubscribe or subscribe. So when you're signing your customers up for things like, SMS text, email campaigning, app notification, so forth, what I usually will do, and this is a great thing to communicate with your customers in general, because you're telling them that they have control over how they're being communicated with. So I know me personally, if it's something to do with, my local store, I would actually prefer either a text or an app notification, because I'll miss the email. We get so many emails to our inboxes, things often get, buried. So at my store, I have the mobile app, and I've also subscribed to SMS Text because that's what they're running at their store. So what you can tell your customers is they can download the app, which is free for them to use. And then from the settings of that app, they can control how they are communicated with. They can select email, or they can unselect email. They can select text, or they can unselect text. So it really does give them a lot of control there. So we're going to go back, and I'm going to minimize this and bring this up. Okay. Alrighty. So one of the other benefits about having SMS text on your Astro account is that you're not committing to it full term. So let's say, for instance, you start off and you have, you purchase a number of credits, which if you get, I can't remember the math off the top of my head, but I think it's only like around $15 to, buy a substantial amount of credits to start testing out that system. So one of the key things is you're going to be able to see, read rate and recipient rate and all that. Now, if you're not certain how many of your customers are able to be communicated via text, somebody at support@astrology.com can help you out with that. So email us there, or go to help on your Astro account and click where it says submit ticket. So we can help you determine that. Now, if you get on there and you notice that, okay, oh my goodness, I only have like a couple hundred customers that are able to be texts right now, or maybe less than that, don't fret about it. You're only paying to deliver them. So let's say, oh my goodness, you have 20 customers that are able to get text. Okay, so every time you send a text campaign, you're only paying 20 credits. 20 times 3 cents, that's peanuts. And then you can start to build that customer list of customers that want to be communicated that way. And those who have done that, like I keep saying, you'll start noticing a higher read rate for those campaigns. Another thing that we like to do is, let's say, for instance, you have customers that are signing up to be part of your, mass email campaigns, et cetera, okay? Some things that certain stores have doing, maybe they already have a points program set up on Astro, or whatever other kind of points platform you're using, whether it's something that's integrated within your point of sale or something that you're keeping track of in store. It doesn't matter. So one thing that people have found that's working out really well is they are actually rewarding their customers for subscribing to these different communication platforms. So if you have a customer that's willing to give you their phone number and consent to be texted by SMS text, you can give them an additional, 100 or 10 points, 20 points onto their points total. So you're giving them something back for subscribing to be communicated with, and they're going to learn that intrinsically they're going to get more value going forward, because they're going to be totally aware of what's going on in your store. And I don't think many people realize this, but awareness is everything. So, just understanding what's going on, certain deals that are going on. We're going to let you know if there's, promotions, offers, things like that your pet or you have purchased in the past. We'll make sure to let you know about it. So customers are going to appreciate that. All right. So if anybody has any questions, you're more than welcome to ask them within the chat. I did post a couple links in there. One of them will take you directly, the first one I posted will take you directly to the SMS Text simple campaigning. So you'll learn how to, send simple campaigns that way. The other one is the text configuration settings within the marketing suite. And then down the road, if you decide that you no longer want to have SMS text on your account, we can disable that for you. That's totally fine. And remember, we're covering the cost, least the number anyway. So if you're not sending any text campaigns, you're not losing anything. You're just having credits sitting there at the reserve for when they're needed. So like I said, some people will do emergency text campaigns where they're like, there's a recall, there's an adoption event, there's something going on that's important for you to know about right now. You don't want to miss this. Keep their text campaigning for that. While others will use text campaigning as one of their primary campaigning methods because they want to give their customers choice as to how they would like to be best communicated with. All right, awesome. Okay, well, if there's no questions. Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for coming out today. And yeah, so for those of you that are going to be at Global next month, we're still in February, starting to lose track of time. So yeah, for those of you that are going to be at Global next month, we are going to have a booth. You're welcome to come visit us there. And we have several things that we're going to be announcing for the first time at Global. We have a new platform that's coming out that we think you're all going to be really excited. A lot of creative elements are going into this, fun things, fun ways for your customers to get involved, and a way that Astro is going to help you specifically attract new customers to your store. All right, so yes, definitely make sure to come check us out. We're going to have special giveaways and things related to that topic. So thank you. All right, y'all, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday and enjoy the upcoming weekend. And we can't wait to see you in March. Take care.